and everyone in the meeting. My name is Sunday Asau. I come from Uganda, the northern part of it, a region called West Nile. I am a founder and director of this institution called St. John's College of Science and Technology. At the same time, I'm an Acumen Fellow. I was glad to see you're working with Acumen. I'm a graduate of cohort of 2018, and also I'm a member of the Africa Assembly hosted in Nairobi. I'm really here to share briefly about my journey as an entrepreneur and also the journey of St. John's. Next slide. Normally they say life begins at 40, and right now I'm really poised to attain all my life goals that I had set. But also, these life goals became clear to me just a while ago after I graduated. And that was because after graduation, I was at crossroads, basically. I'm a trained nurse at bachelor's level. But after my graduation, I had significant questions really to ask. First of all, I had a conflict between my training and also my life exposure, my life journey, right from childhood. My life journey is defined by a life of surviving poverty. And if I can go back a little bit, this became very apparent to me at the age of 9. And this is when I lost my dad, who was the most resourceful member of the family, plus a brother, all in one day. And from then on, I had to start offering leadership for my family because the rest of the siblings weren't able to do so. Now, immediately after that experience, we descended into poverty, but through struggles here and there, I'm happy that I was able to survive the life of poverty, to which many people are exposed globally. So after these two experiences, generally, when I was at this crossroads, I came to find my life purpose, and also at the same time, I came to define my life goals and align them to my life purpose. And for the rest of my life, I decided that I was going to use my vast knowledge, skills, and expertise to create solutions to some of the world's most challenging problems, but they should be in relation to poverty. So this is how I define myself. Next slide. So my journey basically started with the founding of a College of Health Sciences called St. John's College of Health Sciences. This was basically my flagship investment. But after about 3 years, I met my first investment challenge, and this business was halted. And when this happened, it was an experience that took a heavy toll on me. I remember at one point, I had to go into a bit of depression for about half a year, but I managed to recover. And after that, I put this investment in sort of a parking lot, and I redirected my energies to founding a non-profit organization called Vision for Humanity, which is thriving well, and it is moving, serving refugees and other disadvantaged communities in West Nile and Uganda. Then in 2020, I started finding a way to revive St. John's College of Health Sciences. And then that is when my dream opened up wider. And I had to redesign the whole dream. And with the opportunities around, I decided that I was going to revive this investment by investing in vocational skilling. And that is how the journey of St. John's College of Science and Technology really came about. And the problem we are addressing through this college, first of all, this is a vocational skills institution. The problem we're addressing is Uganda has the world's biggest young population. And about 83% of these, especially those between 15 to 24 years old, lack employment. And also, we have 35% of our students unable to progress through higher institution of learning. And also, many graduates lack skills for employability. But of interest to us as a college is the refugee population. West Nile hosts the biggest number of refugees in the country. The refugees have moved away now from emergency. They are at a development phase. But critically, we are contributing to what we call the triple nexus. Triple nexus is an approach where you try to find an integration between humanitarian development and also peace. So our interventions in skilling are actually contributing there because it was realized that most of the refugees are not fully tapping their potential because most of them have inadequate vocational skills. Next slide. Now, our solution is we try to offer training to young people, that is both refugees and our national communities, but importantly, we tailor this training to the labor market orientation. And also, this is supported by tools and equipment that we received as a donation from the United Kingdom. To achieve all this, we have put in place a very strong academic leadership so that we're able to maintain high standards of training. And above all, we also blend the regular curriculum that is given to us by the country with some key complementary skills so that these graduates of ours are able to fit well in the job market. And at the end, we leverage all this through what we have as an innovation and production center that we have set up to expose students in form of apprenticeship, to also expose them to the current markets and also to have a bit of productivity. Next. Okay, so our opportunity in the market is we really have a lot of people who directly consume our training services through what we call the technical vocational education training pathway. But other than that, initially, many entrepreneurs fear going to the refugee space because they imagine the refugees don't have potential to consume these kind of services. So we dared to get into that market. And actually, when we opened to that market, we discovered that we actually came to enroll a lot of refugees directly into our training programs. But also, we work with a number of partners who are in skills development. They do recruit these students, they bring them to us, we train them, and we work with a number of them. Then, with the aftermath of COVID-19, actually, we have a lot of young people who dropped out of school. Now, if you see this graph here, this kind of tells our story from the time we started. You can see we started immediately in 2020, COVID came. That's why you see 0 zeros. And in 2021, the schools opened only for one term. And then we went to 34 immediately. There was another lockdown. And it opened towards the end of last year. That's where we went to 55. But now this year is a very stable year for us. We started seeing the numbers really rising. From 165, we're now around 256. And before we close the year, we are projecting that we shall be around 420. Next. Okay, so our mode of growth is we really want to grow in an organic way. We have St. John's College of Science and Technology, which is operational as I speak, but the flagship investment of St. John's College of Health Sciences, we plan to reopen it next year. And we want to really grow this from levels of offering professional certificates. We want them to grow to be able to offer professional diplomas. And according to our strategic plan, in the next 10 years, this should be able to really scale up to a University of Science and Technology. And when we reach there, there will be a number of complementary services attached to it, such as a teaching hospital, wellness center, mobile clinics, research and innovation center, among others. Next. Okay, this is currently where we are. Those are some of our students and some of our facilities. Next. Next. Okay, some of the tools we have. Okay, and this girl, I love her because really a refugee lady. 22 years old, very passionate about plumbing, a trade that most women don't really dare into. So that's why I placed her in the picture here. Next. Okay, so from where we are to where we want to end, we have a sort of a bridge project that we have ventured into. First of all, we have the strategic plan. We acquired 35 acres of land, which we have set as a model farm to support also our training program in agriculture. And then, most important of all, we acquired some 3.2 acres of land where we are now going to develop a master campus where we will consolidate all our training. The land is registered, topographic survey was done, master planning was done. We are now particularly about to conclude an equity of about 20,000 euros and also a development financing of about 100,000 United States dollars to achieve this bridge project, so that this would be able to scale our capacity in order to move to our master plan that we have developed. Then there is a space in the middle there. We reserved it so that once we attain this bridge project, then in the middle there, we will now start developing our master facilities. Next. Okay, so that is what we would like to be in the end. Next. That building you see up, and also this next one sits right in that empty space in the middle where we said we're going to have our master facilities developed. Next. Now, once we reach there, these are the small pictures around. They are showing the complementary facilities we shall have to put in place. That guy in the bicycle, that's an ambulance service, motorcycle, vehicle, air, and this vehicle right down here is a mobile clinic that we sort of want to have in the future. Next. Okay, so how do we plan to get there? Because this all sounds very big. Our financing model is we really want to generate 20% of the revenues we shall put in here from our direct enrollment. But apart from that, we are also seeking business equity here and there. And thirdly, we have built a lot of network and partnerships with NGOs who are working in the refugee settlements, in skilling. And then the smallest portion, we are going to leave it for credit financing and also some investment grants. So that's how we plan to really get all this done. Next. So to really enable us achieve this, I have a very, very vibrant team, very experienced, dedicated, but you never stop learning. So we always aspire to be in spaces where we can learn, spaces where we can benchmark, spaces where we can draw inspiration and motivation to drive this journey forward. And also, secondly, we would like to really associate with people who can offer us coaching and mentorship, because we believe those who have achieved have a lot to share with those who are yet in the journey. We think they can backstop us. They offer, we learn from the experience and their guidance. And above all, to achieve all this, we are out to look for resources, because this really requires very huge infrastructural investment and also tools and equipment. So basically, that is why what would they really ask for. Next. Yeah, I think that is where I would like to stop. Thank you.
Thank you.